Welcome to the Arizona Wildcat Show, brought to you by Fry's Food Stores. I'm Star Sports editor Ryan Finley, and we're inside Arizona Stadium. We talked to Coach Rich Rodriguez following Wednesday's practice about what to expect from Washington State, how Arizona's defense will change, and what the addition of Jack Banda has meant for Arizona's pass rush.
How'd you find Jack Banda down in Georgia?
Jack Banda. Actually, we were doing a little recruiting in the Atlanta area, and there's great football in Georgia, particularly in the Atlanta area. He played for a great high school program, and we kind of took a little chance. Thought he had to get bigger and get stronger, and he has. He's worked his tail off, and now he's playing a pretty big role for us.
How much bigger can he get?
I don't know. I think he probably can gain another 10 or 15 pounds, but we don't want to sacrifice any kind of speed or anything just for size. But to play in our scheme as an every down player, he had to get bigger, and now his role is more as a pass rusher, which is certainly what we need this week.
You look at Whitaker last week. What good did you take out of his performance?
Well, he kept competing. I think as a corners, and I've been on him about playing with confidence and understand you're not going to win every play and all that, but I want him to be aggressive and compete. And I think as he gets more experience, he'll do that.
Who would slot into that nickel spot if you guys decided to play it Saturday?
Oh, we're already a nickel defense with 5 DBs, but if Devontae gets healthier, Jarvis McCall, as he gets healthier, both of those guys will play quite a bit, and we're going to stay with Paul at linebacker because I think he's getting more comfortable with that.
What are the kind of things that Reggie does that just doesn't show up in terms of stats?
Well, he swallows up a lot of blockers. In our front, particularly when we're in an even front, we want always to get pass rush and get pressure, but Reggie has the ability to play inside and outside in our front, whether it's a 4-man front or 3-man front, and he's just a really good football player.
What can you say about Jake Matthews and how he stepped up in that middle linebacker position?
Yeah, Jake's a smart guy. We've gone, it's been well chronicled how many guys have gotten hurt in there, and we needed a guy, particularly in some of these spread offenses, that's fairly athletic and intelligent. Jake fits that bill.
What do you like out of Lenny so far?
Lenny's been pretty consistent. We've kept him at one position throughout his whole career. We've moved him around a little bit, and that probably wasn't fair to him. But keeping him just at right tackle, I think he's been pretty consistent every week, and I think he's comfortable there.
I think the first thing people say about Jake Matthews is that he's just a smart guy, and Paul McGlory even called him a nerd. How much does that intelligence carry over to defense?
Yeah, I think, sometimes people can say you're too smart, and, a lot of smart guys don't play, with an edge, but he does. Jake's got a little meanness to him, and he's still learning. I think, particularly playing at Mike linebacker, he was kind of more of a safety receiver in high school, and then he was an outside linebacker here, and now he's adjusting. But his intelligence has helped because he can play all 3 positions. Yeah, our guys are competing. I've liked their attitude since day one. We still got a lot of tough games ahead, but I don't sense our guys that are looking like any down the road 2 or 3 days, let alone 2 or 3 weeks. They've just come to work, and our focus has been good. We've not played well in a couple games. We didn't play well a lot in the last game, but I don't ever look at them and think, hey, they're not into it. They've looked like they've been into it every day.
Schematically, what kind of challenges does the Mike Leach offense present?
Well, they just spread you out on every snap, and it's not just in the pass game, but in the screens. They throw a whole bunch of screens. They'll run the ball. They ran the ball against us a couple years ago effectively. And you got to, 2 things. You got to be able to get off blocks in the open field, and you got to tackle in the open field, and those are 2 hard things to do.
Year after year, they talk about wanting to get more of a running game going and more dedication to it, but the stats don't necessarily bear fruit. Is it something where you know that Mike Leach is a passing guy, and it's just hard to get him to break those habits?
Well, Mike's got to speak for himself. I think, he's so confident in their execution of the passing game that, they can still control the ball with their passing game. It's not always down the field. They'll throw some short stuff. And a lot of times their quick screen game is like an extended run.
Try this matchup. Low prices and faster checkout. You can count on it at Fry's.